The 5 most amazing moves of Mikhail Tal, one of my favourite ever players, probably my favourite player of all time. This guy was an absolute genius. Crazy genius, but genius. Remember to like and subscribe to this channel and take your pick of what move of his you like the best. Leave your comments below. Let's move straight into the action. This first example was Tal playing with the white pieces against Hans Joachim Hecht. And Hans now played b5. Most normal human beings, which Tal certainly wasn't, he was a blooming genius, would think, oh, my queen's attacked, let's move the queen. But oh, bloomingly, no, no, no. Here he played the amazing pawn takes f6, the first queen sack of his top 5 moves I've picked. And after he loses his queen, that pawn continues rampaging by taking on g7. Tal was often about attacking, keeping his opponent's king stuck in the middle. And here the black king cannot castle anywhere, but he's a queen down. So what on earth was his idea after rook to g8? And of course he saw this move in advance. Can you play in a similar brilliant style to Tal? Bishop to f5. Oh, just imagine sliding that bishop in there. And the point now is this queen has nowhere good to go. There's a rook coming to e1 in a lot of positions. If the queen takes the bishop, knight d6 check wins material back with a fantastic pawn on g7, which will win the game. And after bishop f5, what else can be played? Well, if queen takes c4, that king is now stuck with nowhere to run. And we just play rook to e1. And the king is dead. Try as you like. You can try defending, but it's not going to work. I'll let you guys work that out. The game continued. Knight takes h4, but after bishop takes e6, bishop a6, knight d6 check, Tal managed to keep his positional advantage, because if you look at black's pawns, they look horrendous. He's got his material back and he went on to win. Typical Tal. Who needs a queen when you're a genius? Let's move on to example number 2. Well, this is a famous example of Tal's against Smyslov. Tal with the white pieces. Tal was incredibly strong at attacking. You could say the strongest ever. And Smyslov at the time was one of the best players, if not the best player in the world. And here comes along Tal playing in a very flamboyant manner, which was just his style. Knight to f6 from Smyslov. What did Tal now play? Can you see it? I'll give you a clue. If you're not struggling to find Tal's move, just get your queen and try to give it up. You know, this is it. Have the queen, Mr. Smyslov. Queen takes. And this combines elements of trying to attack on the back rank with maybe even a little smothered mate, if you know that little trick. The point is, this queen could not be captured because now the back rank is too weak, and you could end up getting in a beautiful checkmate like this with the black pieces. So what else can black play? The threat is just queen takes rook. He tries queen to a1. At least now the rook is blocked, and after a couple more moves, things clarify quite quickly, and Tal, through the use of this very clever tactic, has the extra exchange, and he goes on to convert this in brilliant style. Remember, just give up your queens for the next example, or am I tricking you? This third example, a little bit easier. Just remember, try to get rid of that queen, and also have some points of trying to checkmate your opponent's king. That is, after all, the end of the game and the aim of the game. What is the move for white here? Remember, pause if you need to. Knight takes d4. His opponent was unnamed here, probably from a simultaneous display, but you can see this kind of simple idea of opening the rook towards f7. I know it's easy, but hey ho, come on, just think about the beginners out there. We've got to give them something to, you know, have a little go at. You know, a bit of broad diversity. And the point, of course, if black captures the queen, rook takes f7 is checkmate. That black king in a very amusing net with the rook and knight. The game continued, knight takes e5, and how do we follow the tactic through? The knight is the only piece defending checkmate, so we try to divert that knight away with queen takes g4, at the same time winning a piece, and if the knight takes, it will be checkmate. Tal has gained a clearly winning position there. Mikhail Tal playing white against Boris Gulko, who went on to become world blitz champion and extremely strong grandmaster in his own right. It's Tal to play. His queen is being attacked. You getting a kind of general theme here? A general trend? Does he move the queen? Does he hell? Rook takes... And this is a stunning idea. You're just trying to rip the protection of the black king away. This bishop is such a strong piece. We have another white rook that can come into the attack. And after this stunning move, black is helpless. Gulko tried taking the queen on e5. There's nothing better there. If king takes rook, we can bring our rook in check. And now the nice simple move, queen g3. And there's no adequate way for black to stop queen to g7 checkmate. And what is Tal's point after pawn takes e5? Well, this is now a tactic called the windmill. Maybe you're used to the windmill technique. Rook to f7 check. And here, what if the king goes to g8? We can first play knight takes e7, so the bishop can't get to g5, and then rook to g1, leading to checkmate. So the king tried going to e8, but now rook takes e7, and it's a double check, part of this windmill technique. King to f8, rook to f1 check, king to g8, and now the very smooth and delicate finish. You got it now? Rook on f to f7. With knight to f6 coming, rook to g7 coming, all the Tal's pieces swarming the board in a very picturesque way. A lovely, lovely finish there from the legend. This last example is quite a tough one. You're probably expecting a queen sacrifice, aren't you? Would I do another queen sacrifice? Could I do 5 in a row? Well, Tal has the white pieces against Johan Hjartarson of Iceland, a grandmaster, very strong player. And in this position, he plays a move which is simply astonishing. Can you see it? Rook to c5. You were expecting a queen sack? I disappoint sometimes. And the point of this move, this really bizarre move, which I think is hard to see because we're not capturing anything, we're not really doing anything that is visually like wow, but we are simply threatening to win a pawn, trying to demolish this pawn structure that black has in the center by tempting the base of that to move. If Hjartarson had now taken the rook, we see Tal's idea. He can bust through, knight takes e5, and now there's a deadly discovered check on the agenda. This knight is threatening to take or move to d7. For example, bishop takes c6, the knight goes to d7, check, we win the queen next move. A better defense would be something like knight to f6, trying to block the queen, but after knight takes d7, the knight wins some material and attacks the queen moves, and now simply knight takes c5. These knights are jigging a very nice dance in the center of the board. Hjartarson could have got the queens off. This didn't occur, it was a variation. But now, with white playing something like knight d4, his strong central pass pawns, and the fact that he's going to win another pawn, give him a winning position. The game ended after this stunning rook c5, queen to a6, but now Tal simply took on b5, picking up a pawn, gaining a winning position, and Hjartarson had no answer to this. So a beautiful way to finish Tal's 5 most amazing moves. Like I mentioned before, there's so many blooming good Tal moves. Some stunning examples there. Remember to like and subscribe to this video. I could have done 50 Tal brilliant moves, so it's very hard to just find 5, but as you can see, he had a real talent for the attack and for being very generous with his queen. Did you have a favourite move? I'd like you to discuss below. Did you even see that rook c5 move? If you did, you're doing very, very well. Thank you for now. Hopefully I'll be back again soon with more magic.